Imagine this, Instagram has 2 billion users. Amazon serves million of product requests every minute. Netflix streams videos to over 300 million subscribers. But have you ever wondered how do this application load data almost instantly? Is MySQL really that fast? Or is there another hidden superhero working behind the scene? The answer is Redis. Today we will learn what is Redis, why every backend developer should master in Redis. I discuss 4 most important Redis catching strategies, which companies use which strategy, Spring Boot examples, system design interview question. By the end of this video, you will understand Redis much better than most backend developers. Let's begin. So why catching? Imagine your application suppose user requests product details page. On that case, what will happen? Application at first fetch data from the MySQL server, then it will return data. Everything looks fine. Now imagine 10 users. On that case also no problem. 100 user is still okay, no issue. 10,000 users, database becomes busy. 1 lakh user at a time requesting to the MySQL server. Database CPU becomes 100%. Application becomes slow. Users start leaving. This is exactly where Redis comes in. Instead of reading from the MySQL every time, we store frequently used data in memory. Memory is nearly 100 times faster than the disk. That's why Redis is called in-memory database. So, what is Redis? Redis stands for Remote Dictionary Server. It is, first of all, in-memory, key value pair, extremely fast, support TTL, support PubSub, distributed cache. Think about your kitchen. If you keep spices inside the kitchen cabinet, you can quickly kitchen. But if every time you need to go outside to buy spices, cooking becomes very slow. So Redis is your kitchen cabinet and MySQL is your supermarket. That's the things. And another things, now I discuss the 4 strategy. First one is catch aside pattern, lazy loading. So catch aside pattern, this is the most commonly strategy. Almost every company uses it. If we're talking about the flow, user in generally by any framework, it may be Node.js framework or Spring Boot, whatever, it's called the data from Redis basically. If the data is available in the Redis, then it's quickly returned. If it is not available, then it's fetch data from the MySQL and then stored in the Redis and then return. So if we give the example, so Amazon product page, user opens, suppose iPhone 16, application check Redis at first. If it is found, then return immediately. If not, then read MySQL, store in Redis and then return. The next million of users, only first user do this, but the next million of users, no MySQL hit, just only Redis, they are use only Redis. This is, and the second, if we talking about the advantage of this, first of all, it is very easy and simple and memory efficient. Only caches require data. If we talking about the disadvantage of this, then first request slow, only first request is slow, cold start, need catch, invalidation, stale data possibilities. And what kind of interview question you will face from this? So why cache aside is popular? So you can give a simple answer that because memory uses is optimized, only frequently accessed data get cached. So all data is not cached, only those data is cached which frequently access data. So next strategy, that is write through cache. First we discuss the cache aside. And now we discuss write through cache. So now let's see another strategy whether data changes, update database and Redis both together. Example, if we talking about the example, user changes profile picture. Suppose any user changes his profile picture. So on the same time application update the MySQL as well as the Redis. Now whenever anyone opens the profile, latest data comes directly from the Redis. Example, if you talking about the example, then Facebook profile, LinkedIn page, Instagram user profile, so all are the example. And what is the advantage? Always consistent, fast read, no stale catch. And if we talking about the disadvantage, write becomes slower, extra Redis write consume more memory. And best use case, if we talking about user profile, settings, bank customer details, the best use case in this place we can use it and employee information as well. And now I discuss the third one, right behind cache. This one is really interesting flow. If we talking about the flow, application at first try to fetch data from the Redis, immediately response from the Redis, and in background what will happen? Background mysql just application never waits. Redis stores the data and later Redis write to the database. Is example, if we give the example, then YouTube view count, website click analysis, ad click tracking, gaming score, IoT device, million of writes every second. Imagine 1 million clicks. If every clicks write to MySQL, database dies. So instead what we happened here, Redis collects then writes in batches. So how amazing it is. Advantage, super fast, very high throughput database load products produced, database load reduced basically. And disadvantage, if we talking about, then risk of data loss, need Redis persistence, need recovery mechanism, eventually consistency also required. And last what I discussed, that is read through cache. Application does not directly access database. Application only fetch from the Redis. If cache miss, if not cache available, then Redis load data from the DB and store in the cache and then return data. Application does not know database exists. Everything managed by the Redis. Advantage, if we talking about the advantage, then cleaner code, centralized cache logic, less duplicate code. Disadvantage, if we talking about, more complex, need cache provider, harder debugging. And what TTL? What is TTL? Time to live. TTL stands for time to live. Never catch forever. Every catch should expire. So what should be the standard expired time? So it is based on the scenario. So I'm describing few scenarios. For weather, TTL should be 30 seconds. For stock price, on that case TTL should be 5 seconds. If we talking about the product, on that case it may be 1 hour or more than that. User profile, in generally 30 minutes is the standard. TTL prevents stale data. And now I discuss the catch stamped. Suppose 1 lakh catch keys expired together. Now all user hit MySQL, database will crashes. This is called catch stamps. So what is the solution? Random TTL, distributed lock, background refresh, preloading. So these are the things we can use. And which strategy should you use? I am just asking few. So for product details, I am telling you, I think 4 strategy: cache aside, write through, write behind, read through. So for product details, the best strategy should be the cache aside. If we talking about the user profile page, the best approach should be the write through. If we talking about the analytics, Google Analytics or data, write behind. If we talking about the CMS, on that case read through. If we talking about the stock price, then catch plus TTL. If you talking about the dashboard page, then catch aside. So if we understand these things, this four strategy, then easily we can taking decision, and that in which place, which kind of scenario, which strategy is useful. It is help us to for system design. So now what I want to say that at what kind of Redis interview question, if you just give interview on that time, few common interview question like difference between Redis and MySQL, what is cache aside pattern, what is cache stamped, difference between write through and write behind, why TTL is important, how do you invalidate cache, what happens if Redis crashes, explain Redis persistent RDB versus AOF. How do you scale Redis? Explain Redis cluster. So these are the important question we should go through this thing. And best practice, what we should follow during development. Always we should set TTL. Never catch everything. Monitor catch hit ratio. Benchmark the performance. Use Redis hash for objects, compress large objects, handle cache invalidation carefully, use Redis cluster in production, enhance persistent, monitor memory uses. So these are very very important. And Redis is not just about making application the fast. It's about designing system that can scale to million of users. Whether you are preparing for Java backend interview, it may be Node.js microservice interview, building Spring Boot microservice is, or designing high performance distributed system. Mastering Redis caching strategies is a skill that the every backend engineer should have. Start by implementing the cache aside pattern in your project. Once you are comfortable, then I recommend you explore the write through, write behind, and read through to handle different business scenarios. If this video help you understand Redis better, consider subscribing for more deep dive into Spring Boot, Nest.js framework, or Nest.js microservice system design, microservices, AWS, MySQL, Kafka, Docker, Kubernetes, and backend interview preparation. Remember, great backend developer don't just write code; they design systems that are fast, scalable, and reliable. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.